Hi everyone, my name's Becky and I'm a researcher from the University of Exeter, and I study bees for a living, which means I get to travel all around the UK and all around the world looking for different types of bees and observing what they do. So bees are really important because they pollinate a lot of plants, and some of these plants are the things that we eat, so crop plants. So without bees, these plants wouldn't be able to survive and reproduce. So it's really important that we make space for bees and ensure that they can survive so that we can survive. Now what I'm going to do today is show you a few different types of bees and where you can look for their nests. And some of these bees you might not have heard about before. You might have seen bumblebees and honeybees around, but actually there are hundreds and hundreds of different species of bees. And so what I want to do today is show you how you can make space for these bees to nest in your garden and in other outdoor spaces.
Now usually when people think about bees, they think about honeybees and bumblebees. These bees live in large family groups with a queen. The queen has a lot of babies, which when they grow up into adults will go out and collect pollen for their younger brothers and sisters. There are actually a lot of different types of bee which nest in all sorts of places. Some of them live on their own and don't have any workers to help them, but others live in small groups and work together to feed their babies. There are a lot of types of bee that nest in the ground. Some of these are called mining bees because they're amazing digging skills. They dig long tunnels and bring the pollen into the nest where they make them into a little ball which feeds their growing babies. Now female mining bees live on their own, so they don't have any workers to help raise their babies. Other bees that nest in the ground are called sweat bees, like these bees which are called Lassia glossum. They also nest in the ground, but they only come out when the weather is warm and sweaty. So some sweat bee females live on their own and others have small family groups, like Lassia glossum. Some bees, which are called mason bees, like to build their nests in walls and in stone. Mason bees use natural cracks in walls so they don't cause any damage when they do build their nests. Now mason bees are quite large, almost as big as a bumblebee, and you might know if you see one because they're flying around places like sunny walls looking for nests. Bees aren't the only important pollinators that you might see nesting in interesting places. Wasps are also important pollinators, but they're also predators of other insects, and sometimes these insects that they prey on can be pests in farms and in your garden, so things like caterpillars that might be eating your cabbages. So some wasps collect wood, which they mix with their saliva to make amazing nests out of paper. There are many types of bees, and they're all really important as they pollinate plants. Different types of bees need different things to build their homes, and we can help them by making spaces for them to make their nests and making sure there are plenty of flowers around so they can feed themselves and their babies.
Hey everyone, so now what I want to do is show you a really simple way that you can make space for bees in your garden or whatever space you've got outside using some really simple equipment, a plant pot like this and some bamboo canes, both of which you can get from your local garden centre, and they're pretty cheap. First thing you'll need to do is measure your plant pot and see how deep it is. So this one, I put it to the bottom, I've got a ruler here, is 14 centimetres, and so what you'll then need to do is cut your bamboo cane to the same depth, ideally slightly shallower so that there's a bit of space. So what you want to do is take your bamboo cane and cut it to 13 centimetres, and so those are the bits of bamboo cane that are going to get slotted in to the plant pot. Now the way you want to do this is using these secateurs, which are a little bit sharp, so you might want to get an adult to help you with this part. I'd also recommend using gardening gloves if you've got them to prevent any splinters. If you don't have any gardening gloves, you can just use normal gloves like these ski gloves. And that will stop you getting sore parts in your hands. So, what we can do, measure our 13 centimetres, and then we take our secateurs and keep our fingers out of the way, and it's sometimes a bit hard, and we cut a piece for 13 centimetres. Now, probably don't do what I'm doing and do it without a surface. It's a lot easier if you hold them on a surface. What you can do next is use this piece to measure the next piece. And what you want to do is cut enough pieces of bamboo to about that size until you can fill your flower pot. And so these little bamboo canes are going to be places where the bees can dig in and build nests. So now I've got my bamboo canes cut to size, what I want to do is put them into my plant pot, like this. You might find that when it gets really full, some of them are a little bit too long, and then you can just use your secateurs to trim down the ends. So once you're nearly finished and you can't get any more sticks into your plant pot, you can use some small stones or gravel to fill out some of the holes so that all of these bits of bamboo are nice and secure and they're not going to move around once you put your bee hotel in position. So once you're happy with your bee hotel and that your plant pot is nice and secure and nothing's going to fall around in it, you can find a nice sunny spot in your garden. And you can use some rocks to make a little base. And then what you want to do is move it so it's slightly facing down so any water will come out and your bees won't all get too wet. And have it so it's facing the sun, and then hopefully over the summer you can keep coming back and see if any bees are nesting in your bee hotel. Good luck!